Do you want the slide? Do you want it to drive your slides?
Yeah.
Okay, I just
Or just give me your mouse and I'll.
okay. Yeah, just make sure to click. Perfect.
All right. We're live on YouTube.
We're live.
On YouTube, yeah.
All right. Give it another minute or two. Like, can people see us right now?
Yep.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, YouTube. You're with us in the waiting room. All right. Is anyone tuning in on YouTube?
No, not. I mean, yeah, 3 people so far.
People. All right. YouTube's getting the precursor. We're going live to everybody in probably about 30 seconds. Alrighty. Oh, Marvin, I think you have to start the main session because I'm your host now.
Let's go.
All right, are we live?
We're live.
All right, welcome everybody. Good to see. I'm seeing some familiar names from all of our previous sessions and a lot of new names. So thank everyone for coming. It's going to be pretty exciting. We have a special guest here, Flo. I'm Ethan. We got Marvin as well. I think should we get rolling? Anything beforehand, Marvin?
No, I'm super pumped for this. Let's get rolling.
All right, let's roll. I'm seeing some exciting reactions. Let's go. All right, let me share my screen real quick.
Just a quick question. Can everyone use the chat right now?
Oh yes, I think I changed the settings beforehand. Let's see. Is the chat working? Let's see. I can't see the chat. I can't see the Marvin chat. If you can audit the chat, didn't kick it off. But welcome everybody. It's Agent Academy Live. I think we've been doing some longer form sessions of these longer courses. But it's gonna be like a really action-packed 90 minutes. So you're gonna learn all of Lindy 101, leave with 2 agents. We're gonna have a ton of exciting things, some giveaways, some free templates. Like you're really gonna stick around. It's gonna be exciting. And just to get started, to kick things off, there's 2 things that you're gonna have to do. If you've been here before, you know we just jump right in. We like to build. And so you're gonna want to open your Lindy account. If you don't have a Lindy account, there is a link in the workshop guide that will give you free 2,000 credits. So you can just get going. You're gonna need that account for the premium action. So if you already say you had a Lindy account, you're on a free plan right now, I would just recommend signing up with a new email. But I'm gonna give everyone 30 seconds to open their Notion guide and open their Lindy app, and we're gonna be ready to roll. Marvin, if you could drop the Notion guide in the chat as well, that would be super helpful. And then just lindy.ai. And so we'll pause, give like 15 seconds to everybody. Open your Lindy. You should have these 2 screens, these 2 tabs on, and be ready to toggle in between. The workshop guide is also going to be super helpful because as we're building, there's going to be prompts in the workshop guide that we're just going to copy paste into our live build. So it makes it super easy for you guys. And there's a ton of resources for you there as well after. But while you guys have a couple more minutes to do that, I want to introduce a very special guest. We have the creator and founder of Lindy, Flo. And who better to explain what is Lindy than Flo himself?
Hey, yeah, thank you, Ron. This is exciting. Look at that. There's like hundreds of people in here. This is good. I'll just be here for the introduction, and then I'll let Marvin and Easton do their magic. But quick introduction on what is Lindy. So, in a nutshell, Lindy is the world's easiest way to build AI agents. Unless you've been living in some very high mountain for the last few years, you probably have an idea of what's an AI agent. And I think there's this perception that is widely justified that AI agents are yet not working well enough yet, or like not easy enough to deploy yet. What we're going to do today is dispel this perception. I think literally over the last 6 months or so, I think AI agents, and in particular through us, through Lindy, have made this switch to being powerful enough and easy enough to deploy. And so the analogy I always give for what we're doing is the analogy of the personal computer. Like personal computers went through these 3 distinct phases. Like phase 1 was like the Altair in like 1974 or something like that. And phase 1 of any technology, including the personal computer and AI agents, is like, it's really exciting, but it doesn't work yet. right? And so for AI agents, that was like LangChain and like AutoGPT and Baby AGI. For those of you who remember, it was like engineers were getting excited, Twitter and LinkedIn was getting excited, but it didn't really work yet, right? Phase two of personal computers and AI agents, in the case of the PC, it was the Apple II, right? So it's like, oh, it works now. It's actually delivering value to businesses. We have seen AI agent companies go from zero to hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue very quickly. But it's really hard to use. It's really hard to deploy. It takes an engineer, right? In the case of the personal computer, you started to have like text-based games. You started to have spreadsheets, like real business applications. But the graphical user interface wasn't here yet. It was just command line interface. You had to be an engineer to use this innovation. Same for AI agents. And I think that was the AI agents in like 2024, basically. It works. It delivers value. Too hard to use. Phase three, 2025, and for PCs, that was the Macintosh in 1984. It works, right? It works and it's easy to use. Like that's the first personal computer that my parents had. It's like a PC on every desk. Anyone can use it and it delivers value for everyone. And so what I always say we're driving towards here at Lindy is the Macintosh of AI agents. We want to make it possible for anyone. You shouldn't have to be an engineer. For anyone to create an AI agent in literally minutes. And you'll see, like, after today, you're going to get your first AI agent, I think, in like 10, 20 minutes. I don't want to
maybe even less.
Maybe
even less.
I think you can get like a real simple and yet powerful AI agent in like 10 or 20 minutes. And once you know how to use it, like it will be no harder for you to create these AI agents than it is for you to create a spreadsheet, for example.
All right. Thank you, Flo. And with that, like Flo just said, we're going to build our first agent in the next 5 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes if we take a little bit of time to explain, but it's going to be real fast. Thank you, Flo, for joining us. Flo's got to go. He's got to go take care of the company. So he's going to step out.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. You're in good hands. Excited for this.
Yeah. So with that, your first agent in 5 minutes. What I want you guys to do is open your Lindy platform. I'm going to give everyone a minute to do that. Let's see. If you head to your platform, you should see the screen. So I'll pause. I'll wait a bit. And while for everyone to get here. And while everyone is getting to their Lindy home screen, I want to flag a couple things. One for Q&A. I think, Marvin, do we have Q&A enabled?
Yep, it's enabled.
All right, sweet. So Q&A, I think there's going to be, everyone has a lot of great questions. And so you should be able to upvote and ask questions in the Q&A chat. So we're going to pause throughout parts of the session. And whatever the top questions are in the Q&A, that is how we're going to get to your question. If something is like really urgent, maybe flag it in the chat and there's a chance we'll get to it. Also, while I'm teaching, Marvin's going to be answering as many questions as he possibly can. And when Marvin's teaching, I'm going to be answering as many possible questions as I can. So you use that Q&A, upvote your peers. And I'll give you guys just a moment to get to your screen. Does everyone have, maybe we can see some reactions. Does everyone have their Lindy screen open? Maybe some thumbs up. Are we ready to get going? Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, plenty of thumbs up.
All right. This is going to be a real easy one. So just orienting ourselves here. This is the Lindy home screen. And we're going to build an agent from scratch. There's some easier ways to build agents. You can just describe agents and build them. And we're going to touch on that in maybe 15 or so minutes, which I think is the most powerful thing. But I just want to show you guys the basics. So what I'm going to do here is if you are on your home screen, slide over to the left-hand side. This is going to be your nav bar. So this is where you can see all of your other agents. So where you can access different things. You're going to see this new agent button here on the left-hand side. You're going to click new agent. Once you click new agent, you should see this screen, which will guide you to templates. It'll guide you to describe things. You're going to click start from scratch. So once you're on the left-hand side, click start from scratch. And what that's going to do is it's going to open a blank flow editor for us to do. So I see some people asking about credits. At least when I talk to this one, I can totally estimate the number of credits it's going to take and what to expect. So once you hit new agent from scratch, you should be taken to a blank flow editor like this. Does everyone see the flow editor? Let's see. Yes. All right. So the flow editor is like the place where you get to decide like the logic of your agents. You get to create them. It's kind of like your canvas where you get to do art and create these agents from scratch. On the left hand side, you'll see this agent builder, which is super helpful. This is where you can build agents, text agent, ask questions about your agents. This thing is super powerful, but we're just going to hide it for now. But definitely you're going to want to use that, but we're going to hide it from now. But it's literally really this easy. So within agents, you need to tell your agent when to wake up. And so what we're going to do is that's what it's called a trigger. Trigger lets our agent know when to wake up. And in this case, I'm going to build an email assistant that drafts replies to all my emails and labels them. So what I'm going to do here is if you click on the select trigger button, it'll take you to this action modal picker. And this action and trigger modal picker basically gives you access to our thousands of integrations, actions. And in this case, we want to wake up the agent when we receive a Gmail. If you're using Outlook, you can use the same actions. Just click on the Outlook. It might look a little bit different, but in this case, I'm going to be using Gmail. So if you're in this trigger action picker, you're going to click on Gmail. And then once you're in Gmail, you're going to see several different ways for you to wake up your agent on different events. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the email received agent or email received trigger. You should see this right here. Now, if you completed the pre-workshop guide, your screen looks probably like this. If you have not, it's probably going to prompt you to connect some certain things on the right-hand side. You do have to authenticate just to give Lindy access to your accounts so that it can run things. In this case, Lindy only ever has access to your accounts when it's doing an action for that specific purpose. So if you see something on the right here that says connect, just click connect, and it'll take you to this. And also just for people coming in and people that may be a little bit more experienced, I just wanted to flag, we're going to start slow and we're going to slowly accelerate through this whole session. So like Marvin's build at the end is going to be pretty advanced, building custom landing pages, 101, computer use, agent steps, all really tricked out. But I want to make sure everyone kind of is on the same page with fundamentals and starting right now. And if you ever think, if moving too slow and you want me to pick up, just let me know. But want to make sure no one is left behind here because everyone can build AI agents. So right now we can see email received. And also a quick flag too is there's going to be a recording and we're going to be sending out these templates as well. So come here to learn about it. But if you lose track, I recommend really just absorbing the information and then using the resources after. So after email received, I want to draft a reply. So what I'm going to do here is you can see we have email received that's going to wake up. And then I'm going to click perform an action down here. And at the very top, you'll see a linked action, which just means it's connected to the trigger, Gmail. So I'm going to click on Gmail, and I'm going to click on send reply. Alrighty. Believe it or not, as it stands right now, every time I got an email inbox in my account, or every time I received an email, a reply would get drafted and sent. Like that's it. 2 clicks. We already have a full email agent, just like that. So we have these 2 steps, just like this. Now there's something I want to flag for this send reply step. And I would also just like to mention too, we're going to go back right after this. We're going to teach a lot more of the fundamentals, but just wanted to give you all an agent in 5 minutes. So when you see send reply, you're going to want to click on this, and on the right-hand side of any trigger or action, these are like the rules of what you configure and the rules. So this is going to be super important on the right-hand side. So on the right-hand side, you can scroll, and there's 3 things I want to flag. Whenever you're filling in a blank, these blanks let you dictate what the action is going to do. So for example, for replying to an email, there's a body variable, which makes sense. Like whenever I'm replying to an email, I'm going to respond with a body. That's me typing in the email. And so for this body, you can see there are 3 options always with Lindy when you're filling something out. Manual, prompt, and auto for every blank. So what this means is for the body, if I just leave it as is on auto, what is going to happen is the agent is going to use all the context and just reply to the email with AI, given the model is selected. So the AI is going to look at everything. It's like magic autocomplete. Often I just leave my stuff on auto because the AI is frankly better and more smart than me configuring these things. Like autos takes no work. It's really, really powerful. Prompt is like instructed autocomplete. So if you talk to ChatGPT a lot or Claude, it's like filling in the blank with guides and instructions. So what you could do here is I could say, I want you to reply in 5 words always, and then all your emails will get a 5-word response. Or what I use to do is I like to describe my style, my tone to get like really specific email responses that are fit to me. And manual is just fixed. So if I said reply with like these 3 words every time and it was fixed, it would always reply with those 3 words. So whenever we're filling in these blanks on the right-hand side, this is how we're going to do. I see some people saying they get left behind. Don't worry, guys. All we've done is add email received, send reply. And that's it. These 2 clicks, this is an email assistant agent. And what you're going to do here on the right-hand side is what I want to flag too, is If you scroll down to the very bottom, so you can see when you click on send reply, you scroll down to the very bottom, you're going to see this save as a draft button. I recommend toggling this on, especially to start. What this means is instead of sending the email directly, it's actually going to appear as a draft, just like if you were to save a draft in your email. So that way you can review and kind of have that human in the loop for all of your emails. And then once maybe your email is drafting and they look really good all the time and you've iterated a little bit, you can go ahead and untoggle that and have all your emails just reply to automatically. But I just really want to flag, like, if you're looking at your screen and you have these two steps and your agent's on, please turn on save as draft or your agent's going to start replying to you. Alrighty. So now that we have save as draft, I'm going to trick this out just a little bit more. So if you head to our prompt guide or our workshop guide, so our workshop guide, it should look like this. You'll notice all of the prompts over here. You can see draft a concise professional reply, this prompt one in the email assistant. I'm just going to copy this guy. So we're in the workshop guide, prompt one, email assistant. All I'm going to do is copy this guy. I'm going to bring it in to my agent sub. I'm going to click on the send reply and I'm going to change prompt. And I'm just going to copy this prompt in here. And so now this prompt is what's actually drafting my emails. And it's fits in a way that I like it to keep my emails actionable to my style, concise. But feel free to describe and have fun with this. With that, now that you have this, all you got to do is turn on your agent. Make sure that this is clicked over here. Worksheet, I'll drop it in the chat one more time. Oh, wait, to host and panelists. Alrighty. And let's see this in action. Let's see this in action. So on the right-hand side, so we'll see currently we're in our flow editor. So this is where you configure your agent and you see all the different settings and you can build your agent. What I'm going to go ahead and do is click on tasks. So again, we're in the flow editor, clicking on tasks. Now what tasks is like your mission control for your agent. So this is where you get to see all the different run history, the different jobs, the different things happening. Tasks is like your mission control. And now if I wanted to test this agent, I'm going to send myself an email real quick. Let's see, where is my email? Just going to send myself an email real quick here. Again, just showing you guys this agent in action. We'll give it just a second to register. If I go ahead and refresh the page, just a couple times. Sometimes it takes just a second. Yes, don't worry, guys. You're going to be able to reference this. So you can see our email was received, and we drafted a reply. So you can see it was like, hey, could you please update your things? And it drafted a reply like, hey, I'll get that completed before today. We'll send the updates. This is appearing in my Gmail account as a draft, and I can just one-click send. So this saves me so much time, even just having a draft in your emails. So there you have it. We already built an agent that for every email coming in, you're going to get an automatic drafted reply, which is super powerful. But what if I wanted to take this one step further and make it have more, actually label my emails and segment them based on a few different things. Also for context, like each of these runs probably consumes, let's see what this one consumed. This run right here consumes 1 credit. That's about 1 cent. So like even on the pro plan, like if you have a ton of emails in your inbox, even just a simple agent, probably not going to consume more than 15 to 20% of your monthly credits. If you wanted to filter it even more, again, this is not required, just giving you guys some more information. If you're in the email receive section, you'll see that there's different filters. You can add filters based on like subject line, keywords, other different rules. But okay, back to our agent. Some people I saw asking where they paste the prompt. In the send reply action, I pasted the prompt into the body. So this is going to help us whenever we reply. Yes, I see some people asking, what happens when I don't get a no reply email? I don't want to reply. So this is where this next step comes in. So what I'm going to do here is everyone take a look real closely is if we click on this arrow, I'm just going to hit backspace. So click on this arrow backspace, and these are now disconnected. Alrighty, so you can see the steps are disconnected. Alrighty. Now, what I'm going to want to do is I want to add a condition. And conditions are super powerful. If you use other workflow builder platforms like Make, Zapier, you're probably used to having to have really rigid rules. Like if email contains no reply, do this. If it contains this, do Z. What's awesome with Lindy is you can just send paths in natural language. And so I'm going to keep this pretty simple. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. But under our email received, if you click on the email received, you should see these next steps down here. And I'm going to click on conditions. If you see on this condition step, this is where I create different paths in the road for our agents. And you can just define them in natural language. So for example here, I'm going to say, go down this path if the email is spam or no reply. Like that's it. So you can see we added condition. This is a condition. The email spam or no reply. The AI is automatically going to look at my email and decide, hey, is this spam? Is this no reply? Etc. Now I'm going to add a new condition. So you can add as many paths in the road for your agent as you want. So I'm going to add a few of them. My goal here is for my email assistant, I want to label if it's spam. I want to label if it's marketing. I want to label if it's partnership opportunity and internal. Maybe I'll keep it 3. You guys can add more on your own. I'm just going to label my emails if they're spam. I'm going to label my emails if they are a partnership opportunity. So I'm in a partnerships role, and then I'm going to label email if it's from an internal sender. So I'm going to use those as my 3 categories. My main email one has like 10, but once you know the pattern to do 2, 3, you can totally customize this for your own good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a condition, add a second condition, go down this path if the email is a partnership opportunity. That's it. Just in natural language. Don't worry, guys, about nitpicking the words. The AI is really smart, and it's going to know what these things are for you. So you can see right now we have these 2 paths. We have if the email is spam, if the email is a partnership, and if you click on the condition step, you can always add more conditions by clicking on this plus add condition button. So with this, I'm going to add one more condition, and I'm just going to say add condition, go on this path if the email, if it is an internal email. So if I go back on my condition, you can see our 3 prompts up here. They're real easy. Just go down this path if the email is spam, go down this path if the email is a partnership opportunity, go down this path if it's an internal email. Those 3 things. Best practice here is I recommend adding more labels that fit your inbox, and then also adding an other one that catches the other bucket. So if you have like 8 labels, it's helpful to have like, hey, this one didn't meet the other criteria. And that could be as simple as writing, hey, none of the above replied, or none of the above applied. But you can see right here, now what's going to happen is as we receive an email, this condition step is going to classify the email into one of these 3 paths, just like this. And what I'm going to do here is say if it's an internal email, maybe I want to add a label. I want to add a label, hey, partnership opportunity. So I'm going to click perform an action. And in here, I'm going to click on my Gmail again. And I'm going to click add label to email. You could also search this up. The fast way is just add action, Gmail, add label. It should look just like this. So we can see now, if it's an internal email, we're going to add a label. Now I also want to add a label if it's a partnership opportunity. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add one more add label action. So if I go perform an action, Gmail, add label. You can see you have these 2 add labels. So I'll pause for just a second. Alrighty. If it's an internal email, this is where it's a great place to use a manual configuration. So what I'm going to do here is this label name is what actually is going to add the label. So if you guys already use labels in your inbox and you filter things into folders, this is exactly what that functionality is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on label name for internal. And I'm just going to type in internal, just like that. Alrighty. And then likewise for the partnership opportunity, I'm going to click on the partnership one. And I'm going to click set manually partnership opportunity. Now this is more custom for me, so I recommend, like I said, have more labels, make it custom to you, but it's the same exact pattern applies where we just have the condition coming in. We have the add label. Now, if it's spam, I actually don't want to necessarily add a label. you can use a few actions. I could label it as spam. I could use the move to trash action, but in this case, we're just gonna do nothing. We're just gonna ignore those. But what I'm gonna want to do is I only want to reply to the email if it's not spam or if it's one of these two things. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna drag add step, drag these pluses down here. I'm going to save by hitting deploy. So you can see now we've augmented our agent so that after an email is received, we're going to classify it as spam, partnership opportunity, or internal email. And if we just follow the lines of like what's happening, if it's a partnership email or an internal email, we're going to send a reply. Now, I would recommend this is kind of like a half-baked email system. Like we need to build more conditions and more edge cases, but the fundamentals here apply. We all have an agent that will label your email and do these things. And now if I were to show you guys just one more time, see if I can find my screen here. If I were to show you guys, make sure I deployed this. Let's see. Let's do this one more time. We'll see that now the condition step is going to label this probably an internal email. So if I head back to our tasks, again, the task menu just lets you see everything that's going on. So we've got some event registrations. So we can see now we received an email. It classified it as internal email. Add label to email and send reply. Just like that. We drafted our reply. We have the label as internal. Amazing. I see some people. So if this, this doesn't make sense, don't sweat it. But I see some people asking, are these conditions mutually exclusive? Yes, it's only going to pick one. You can also, for more of our power users out there, you can force it to pick an option. So say it didn't think any of these things were true, it would actually just stop. But what I could do is if I click on my condition, I could click force agent to select a branch, which means it's going to force it to pick the most likely one. So that can be super powerful, especially if you have another category. There's just a nugget of knowledge.
There's one more question coming up
Yeah.
all the time, which is how do I disconnect the action from the current connection? I think people miss that.
Totally. You're just going to want to click on the arrow. So you can see I can click on these arrows and hit the backspace. So if I click on this arrow, hit backspace, it's going to disconnect. Alrighty. And also another trick too, I like to rename my agents to say organize. So if you're in the top left, you can just rename this guy to Gmail Assistant. And for more of our power users out there, you can also see the version history and revert it. Alrighty. With that, we're going to keep on rolling because we have a lot to cover. But really proud of you guys. We threw you in. Everyone had an email. Maybe it was some of your first agents. We built an emails agent that one labels our inbox, drafts a reply, in a couple clicks. And it's really that easy to just do those things and customize it for yourself. What else can you build with Lindy? So that's a pretty simple example. For example, this is Lindy's note taker. Lindy is our powerhouse. See, maybe I'm seeing Lindy over there. She's our powerhouse on our go-to-market team. And this is our meeting note taker that not only it manages all of her follow-ups, it grills her and it makes her, coaches her how to do better in sales calls. It tracks every single attribute from every touch point she has. It updates the CRM. So this is just what we showed is just one building block that's incredibly useful. And it personally saves me an hour or two every day, just not having to do through all my emails. But really the sky's the limit. Also, you may have seen Lindy around. Everyone wonders if she's AI. I promise Lindy is real. Okay, so there we go. We did our first agent in 5 minutes. And I want to be really transparent with you guys. What else are we covering today? And what else are you going to learn? So we did our first agent. Now we're going to go back and we're going to cover some of the Lindy fundamentals just to make sure we have a really sound footing, especially as we get into Marvin's build. So we're going to go through Lindy 101. Having that experience on the Flutter is going to really help contextualize that information. Then from there, we're going to show you literally the world's easiest way to build agents, which is how I start building all my agents. We did it the hard way from scratch because I wanted people to learn a little bit through it. But you can literally describe agents and just see them appear, and it's an incredibly powerful experience. So we're going to go through that after Lindy 101. Then from there, Marvin has a pretty magical build for us, waiting for us, where he's going to be building personalized landing pages, sending them, enriching, pulling the everything possible about someone. It's a pretty cool build, so you want to stick around from that. And at the end, we're going to talk about giveaways, how to access the recording. We're going to send you guys some templates, so you're going to want to stick around. Alrighty, without further ado, Lindy 101. So I know some of you guys, maybe you're still in your footer. Now you can kind of sit back, just try to absorb some information. I promise it's gonna be super helpful, especially as we transition to Marvin's builds, maybe crystallizing some of our knowledge there. So I think what's helpful to understand, and now there's a lot of words on these slides. So just absorb it. Don't worry about reading everything. But this is our friends at 9x, and I think they did a really good job illustrating automation versus AI workflow versus AI agent. Like number one thing I see people getting confused is still like, you see agent everywhere on social media, but what is an agent? Like what is an agent really? And we use AI agents as the term as an AI decides what steps to take and what tools to use to reach an objective. So an AI agent is one side of the automation spectrum where it's super free, it's autonomous. I almost think of it as like a smart intern that you just give an objective, tools, and some rules, and it just tunnels towards that thing autonomously. It picks its own path. Whereas on the complete other end of the spectrum is pure automation, which is like traditional RPA, rules-based, would have been like, hey, email received, look for X keyword, classify things. Everything is fixed. Everything's very fixed. And in the middle, you have AI workflows, which are a little bit in between, where you have some things that are fixed. You decide when to give the AI freedom, and it's kind of in between the spectrum, if that makes sense. Now on Lindy, what you're going to be building mostly is AI workflows and AI agents. So it's the right end of the spectrum. And depending on what agent you're building, it makes sense to kind of skew between AI agents and AI workflow. So it depends right there. And then conceptually, just want to kind of give you guys an overview of like Lindy's core concepts. Like what is Lindy as a platform? What are the building blocks? What do we just use to build that first email assistant in 5 minutes? Even too, it's honestly, it's pretty wild. It feels a little bit less magical for me at this point, but in 5 minutes, we literally built an agent that will label our emails and draft all of our replies, which is pretty wild. I don't think there's another platform where you can say it's that fast to build something that powerful. But so Lindy, if we're going to go out to in here, just to describe kind of our concepts. So Lindy is the platform that orchestrates all of your agents and workflows. And these terms will just help us align whenever we're teaching. Within Lindy, you can have multiple agents, and agents are like these individual workers that execute tasks. And then within each agent, there are individual workflows. You could have multiple workflows, but workflows are like defining rules and paths for the agents to follow, just so they can be a little bit more accurate. And then each workflow is composed of steps, and steps are different depending on what kind of agent you're building. So we saw triggers and actions. There's more tricked out steps. The agent step is honestly my favorite step and incredibly powerful. We use conditions. There's all these other different steps. There's just different types of building blocks that build workflows, that build agents that live within Lindy. And then of course, you can't have agents without memory, but the best part about Lindy is it's all managed for you and it takes care of you so you don't have to worry about it. All right, now we covered these a little bit before, but what is a trigger? So you have to tell your agent when to wake up. If like you didn't tell your agent when to wake up, how's it going to know what to do? So there's 3 types of ways to wake up your agent. So there are time-based triggers, event-based triggers, and chat-based triggers. So time-based is just like you see on the screen, every day at this time, or every week, every month at this time, send me this report. So you're telling the agent to wake up at a specific time. Event-based is the different events. So when an email arrives, different when maybe a Slack message arrives, when my meeting finishes, when my calendar event starts. And you can think of all these events that happen in your life. All those are, you'll find an event trigger for it on Lindy. And then chat-based is a little bit different. Chat-based is you can actually build kind of like talking to ChatGPT or a custom GPT, is you can turn an agent into have a chat interface within Lindy. But we're not going to get into that maybe a little bit later. But that's what the chat-based trigger is like. All right, so those are triggers. What are actions? Actions are the steps that do the work. So we saw that in the steps that did the work in the past, we had our labeling actions. We had our, what else do we have? Our draft reply, send reply, email. These different actions actually do the work. And these are like the main composition that helps things do it. I see someone in the chat, Lindy's the easiest and most advanced AI builder I've ever used. It's the best. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate you. So there's 2 main types of actions. We have basic actions, which are one-step operations. And this part might sound a little bit confusing, but like I said, just try to absorb. So there's one-step operations like add label to email or things like that. There's also linked actions. So whenever I send an email, for example, maybe I want to take an action after someone replies to me again. Maybe I just want to do an action after I send an email. So some actions will actually have follow-up behavior that create new events is how I would think about that. Those are a little more advanced. Don't worry about it. Yeah, WhatsApp is another example of a linked action. So there's a ton of different linked actions. So and actions are configurable. How do you configure actions? How do you tell the actions what to do? Well, this is like when we talked about the fields, when we saw all of our fields on the right-hand side, there are a lot of different things we can do to make our agents do what we want. And these fields are, I like to think as just like, there's blanks to fill in that tell the agent what to do. And there's 3 ways to fill in each field in Lindy. And I think this part is one of the most magical parts, like whenever it clicks for people with Lindy compared to other workflow builders, is because it's such an AI native platform, you can fill in a field auto. And auto means if I'm on step 20, Lindy's going to read all of the previous 19 steps. It knows what the action is. It knows what the fields is. It's just going to magically figure out what to do. It's almost like a magic autocomplete. And most of the time, you'll probably leave things on auto. I leave most of my agents on auto because they're better at even, like if I don't want to spend the time to create a really cracked prompt, like the AI is really good at figuring things out, especially with that much context. So auto is incredible. Manually is maybe if you use other traditional automation platforms, it's like, hey, I want to manually figure out like this variable mapped here, or whenever this comes in, it's always this date, like XYZ. Like it is literally whatever you put in is exactly what that field is going to be. And so this is helpful when you want to fix something. And then prompt mode is in between fix and auto. It's like just basically telling ChatGPT, telling the AI how to fill in that field. And so this is where it's a lot of fun. And you saw like in our body, we switched from auto to prompt mode so that we could have a little bit more of a specific reply. All right, conditions. We use conditions here to kind of fork down different paths of labels. And conditions are really powerful because they allow you to create paths in the road for your agent. So maybe if I have a happy customer, I want to go one way, and an angry customer, I want to go another way, and a refund customer go another way. And there's no more ambiguity with, if you use other platforms, it's really painful when you have to be like, if the customer explicitly has refund in their subject, and then the one trips through because they had a typo, all these like really painful rules. The beauty of AI is that we're able to natural language and like semantically understand what's going on. And so what you can do is you can just define conditions in natural language like we did for our labels. Like if the customer seems angry, if they seem happy, if this email deserves a reply. So like a lot of times at the end of my email steps, I even just have a condition. Does it need a reply? Like you can just define these things and the AI will look at all the context and decide which path do I take. No more exact X equals Y. Create as many paths as you want. Super powerful. Memory. Memory is really awesome in Lindy. There are some advanced configurations, which perhaps you can cover, maybe like a Lindy 301. So what I like about Lindy is we meet the user where you are. It's like you can just come in, have Lindy manage a lot for you and really simple. But if you really want to go down the rabbit holes, there's so much that you can do. Lindy remembers everything, so you don't have to. If you're on step 20, Lindy's going to remember the previous 19 steps. So it's pretty incredible what Lindy can do just off of the memory. So if there's a gist of what you want to remember, Lindy just has all this context, accrual, and magic behind the scenes to seemingly understand at every step what's going on all the time. So you just don't have to worry about it. And then tasks. Task is like run or a job. So you saw the individual emails coming in. We could see the action history of what happened. It's like your mission control where you can see everything that happened and why and when. Alrighty. We covered Lindy 101. It's been, I don't know, maybe 30, 35 or so minutes. We've all built an agent. We've learned the fundamentals. Pretty wild how dense this has been and hopefully helpful in the past 30 minutes. And I said, we're only accelerating and only getting cooler things down the line. Marvin, do you see any common questions in the chat we can address before Agent Builder, or are we feeling solid?
I think we're pretty solid. I mean, some people are repeatedly asking about Outlook. So maybe just a comment here. Yes, you can use Outlook instead of Gmail. I believe it doesn't have the draft email option in the send reply action. So there's a separate action for that, which is called, I believe, simply draft email. So you'd have to find that. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. And then with the Outlook too, I think this happened last time, is sometimes there's a message ID field. Just make sure to leave that on auto as one configuration, if that applies to you. Okay, text to agent. So we've covered the basics. We built an agent from scratch. Well, to be honest, I'd say even building agents from scratch, even if it takes 10 minutes, isn't always the best experience. Like, what if I could build agents in 1 minute, 2 minutes? And this is how you do it. So if you log into your Lindy home screen, you should see this page. You should see, how can I help build an agent perform a task? Like literally all you can do after Lindy 3.0, and this gets me really excited. So sorry, so maybe I'm talking a little too fast now. Just all you have to do is just describe what you want in the box. So I could just describe, hey, I want an email assistant that does this. Or I could describe like, hey, this is my whole customer support workflow. I want you to do this whole big thing for me. You can literally just any idea you have in your head of like or any workflows you do, just describe them and put them in the box. I recommend like honestly voice, like if you just have a voice app to dictate and put in the box. But I want to show you guys how easy this is to build AI agents. And so I'm going to use a prompt that I had. So if I go back to my Lindy screen, for this portion, I would honestly recommend just watching along. You can vibe code your agents after, just because I'm gonna try to keep the pace up. So I'd recommend just watching along, absorbing, and literally seeing how easy it is to build AI agents. But I'm gonna use the second prompt in my workshop guide to build the same exact agent we just did at the beginning. So you can see I'm gonna paste this prompt in here, and the prompt only is create a Gmail email assistant that labels email marketing as spam, sales, internal, urgent, or other. And then if a reply is needed, draft a reply. Like that's it. So you can see I was clear and I articulated exactly what I want. All I got to do is hit send. Alrighty. So we can see Lindy's thinking for a little bit. And then whenever you're doing these, I'd say whenever I see people like vibe code their agents. So once you're here, by the way, Lindy, because you can do ad hoc tasks, but Lindy's going to prompt you, hey, I actually noticed you want to build an agent or you asked to build an agent. So you just got to click this link. Now this is where most people get a little bit tripped up. But after it takes you here, they're going to see this agent build on the left-hand side. This is actually the same chat you're just in. So you want to leave this open, pay attention here, and just wait. So you can see from that prompt, Lindy's creating a Gmail assistant that can label emails, draft replies, and so forth. You can see now it's viewing the agent, it's getting all the actions we have, and then it's actually planning out what it wants. And so it's asking me to confirm, like, hey, when a new email is received, I want to analyze, determine if a reply is needed, draft a reply. If no reply is needed, do nothing. Yes, this looks great. So Lindy will often ask clarifying questions as well to just like really understand what you want. And because it's an AI assistant, you can even ask Lindy for more clarifying questions. So I could ask Lindy, hey, do you have any suggestions how to make this better? Lindy would just tell me how to make it better. So you can see right now, all I've done is send that first prompt. Lindy planned it out for me, and now it's building it. And so this takes a little bit. Eventually, you'll see updating agent graph, which I always say is just like the agent's about to appear. That's what this really means. And so if we wait here just a second, the agent should appear. And like I'm telling you guys, it's really this easy to build AI agents. Like if you can imagine it, if you can describe it, you can create it. And so I've had so much fun just building wild agents with Agent Builder. Usually, like what my process looks like is you can see actually Lindy's self-improving right here. So it built this. This looks a little bit different. It's using the agent step, which you haven't covered. It's like probably a little more efficient in this situation, but you can see email received. We're going to label the email between one of these few things. It corrected its mistake. It's going to ask, does it need a reply? Like it's a pretty good prompt too that I didn't even have to write. And it's going to draft the reply. And so if I was looking at this email, what I would probably do here, what I'd probably do here, oh, I think it's because I clicked on it while I was building. So I'm just going to reconnect that guy. Shoot. It was updating the agent and I started asking it, or I started moving things around. So that's my bad, guys. If reply is needed. But you can see right here. So Lindy on its own just built email received, labeled the email. If a reply is needed, draft email. Pretty self-explanatory. And if I'm even confused about this agent, and if I'm like, hey, Lindy, why did you use an agent step? I can just ask, why did you use an agent step? How does this work? This box on the left-hand side is your friend, and it's your assistant to help you build agents. It's really this easy. And then what you can do here is like if I was doing this, what I would probably do is I like to use these as my starting point and then edit them to my mold. And so my original prompt I'd probably tweak the body prompt, tweak the subject prompt. I'd probably change the email signature, but I already have this whole skeleton just like that. And it's really that easy. All you have to do is go to home, start asking like build agent that does XYZ. The more specifics and nuances that you can give is how you'll get the best agents. But vibe coding for agents really is here, and it's pretty incredible. What I'd recommend to where I see like a most common failure mode for these is like my advice is people come in and they try to say they have, I don't know, your whole customer success department, and there's like 20 different steps, and they try to put all of them together all into the one prompt, and they have the prompt and the agent's doing like 80% of it well, and they're just like, why is it not working? Like what I'd really recommend is, okay, if your workflow is that complicated, let's start small. Like let's find the 80-20, like what is 80% of the things causing most work? Or first even the 20% things causing most of the work. Start small, iron out those specific tasks, like automate parts of it, and then slowly connect the agents as you go. That would be my advice as you're building this agents. But yeah, it's pretty incredible. What do you guys think of the agent builder? Maybe let us know in the chat. But we built an agent from scratch. And now I'm telling you, if you want to say I started building, I wouldn't even go from scratch. I would just go right here. So this is pretty incredible. Yeah, I'm seeing some exciting messages in the chat. Alrighty. Now, with that, yeah, you can duplicate agents. You can create templates. I see someone saying, "I love you, Lindy." We love Lindy too. You know, cool Lindy sign in the back. We love Lindy. Okay, so it's been now maybe 45 minutes. We built our first agent. We met Flo. We covered all the fundamentals. We showed you the most powerful way to build agents. Like, wow, like what other, I don't know, what other sessions? I feel like they're out here trying to sell you guys things. We just want to help you build agents, and this is pretty powerful. So last two parts, this is going to be our more kind of advanced intermediate build. And so Marvin has a really exciting thing here where his agent is not only going to pull everything on the internet that's possible about someone, it's going to create them a one-of-one landing page to, like, I think it maybe invite them to events, but it's going to create them a one-of-one landing page and send them a custom email. And I mean, I don't know, if you got an email in your inbox that said, "I built a personal landing page from you," I received a lot of emails. I would click on that one. And I think you guys would too. So it's going to be super powerful. Before that, we need to cover a little bit more. So we covered a lot of the basic actions. This is the most powerful action, so I think is the agent step. Marvin, let you take it away here and tell people what they need to know about the agent step and how it's different from other actions.
Yeah, totally. Thanks so much. I mean, the agent step is pretty powerful. So what this actually allows you to do is to have an agent inside of your workflow to do multiple things for you at once, right? So you can basically tell it whatever you want it to do for you, and you can attach skills to it as well. And it will simply go ahead and try to complete that task as soon as possible. Now, we have three core components for these AI agent steps, which is one, we have the prompt itself, right? What do you want the agent to do for you? Two, we have skills. So you can add skills to your agent like, hey, use the send reply Gmail action, or maybe use Perplexity to do some research on a lead, right? These are the skills you can attach to your AI agent step. And then three, we have exit conditions, right? So when should the agent actually stop doing stuff for you, right? Obviously, the easiest one to use here is once the task is complete. But that puts the pressure on the actual instructions, right? So you'd have to have a clear goal and like description of whenever the task is actually finished. And once that's done, we can set the exit condition to be something like, hey, once you completed this task, go to the next step basically and exit, right? So what's pretty new and really exciting about this is that we recently launched Autopilot, right? Which is our computer use capabilities for the AI agent steps, which literally means that your AI agent is capable of using a computer, right? So it can open the browser, it can log into websites, it can do stuff like real work for you on websites. It can even use a terminal. It has like its own computer system, which is pretty exciting. And then it can also like write code, right? And that's what we are going to use today. I don't know, probably some of you guys have been invited through my LinkedIn outreach agent, which helped me with a lot of comments, right? So I have this agent running for me, which is helping me with a couple of my posts. Whenever someone comments under my post, I actually send them a DM with some templates, and I bet a certain percentage of you guys actually got here because of this agent, right? That agent literally is logged into my LinkedIn account. It checks all my comments. It then has like clear instructions on how to respond to each of those comments and sends a DM with those templates. So I mean, sky's the limit here, right? This is just one simple example of what you can do with it. We're going to build a second example I'm going to show you right away. So let's actually get into building.
All right, I'm gonna give Marvin the screen share. So you're gonna want to go back in Lindy, and then also just want to flag. I think this one's gonna move a little bit quicker, and there's gonna be some new tools. But don't worry, we are going to be sharing the templates. If you want these templates, the exact one you're using with Marvin, we're going to be sending you these at the end of the session, or telling you how to access these at the end of the session. So you're gonna want to stick around for after the build and how you can access that. But let's give it up for Marvin. Marvin's outbound magic.
All right, let's see. Can you all see my screen? Awesome. Cool. So I hope everyone has got his own Lindy account open. What we need to do now is I'm going to start creating a new agent, and we're going to build it from scratch. Let me close that. All right. So this is going to be like a two-step build, basically. Let me frame the picture here. What we are trying to do here is basically we're trying to create a list of leads we want to contact, right? Maybe I don't know, I'm a service provider and I wanna, or actually the example is going to be I'm a community guy at Lindy, right? And I have this event today and I want to invite people to this event, right? So I'm gonna need to find people in certain niches and send them a personalized invite. Now, the boring thing about this is that cold emails are not super effective most of the times, right? People use them all the time. They're mostly boring. They land in spam quite often. So the exciting thing about this is that we're not going to only send a cold email. We're actually going to build a personalized landing page for that specific lead that we just scraped from the internet, and we're going to send that landing page to them, right, as an invite. Okay, so we're going to select a trigger. I'm going to use the chat with this agent option and then use the message receive trigger. This allows me to basically initiate a conversation with my agent through a chat in the task view. I'm going to show you that later. Now, the second step is we want to perform an action. And I am going to search for a specific one, which is search for, people. Now, this is a pretty strong, intense integration we have with people data labs, right? What this allows us to do is to scrape the database of existing data of just leads and prospects, right? Based on certain criteria, right? On the right, you can see like all the configuration fields we have available for this, which is the search query. We can set a limit for this. I'm actually going to put the limit to 3 right here, and then a scroll token. Now you can ignore the scroll token for now. The search query is the important one. But as Ethan already mentioned, we have AI on every configuration level here. So we can simply use it to fill in the field for us. And that's what we're going to do. Quick check-in, does everyone have those 2 steps up and running yet? Yes, I see a couple of yeses. More coming in.
Seeing lots of thumbs up. Love the reaction, guys. It helps us know we're moving okay.
Oh yeah, Ethan, you got to tell me about these reactions. I don't actually see them for some reason.
Oh, all good. Lots of thumbs up, some hearts, even a few
Okay,
celebrations.
awesome. Yeah, Ricardo, exactly. Like this costs us 15 credits. So you want to use that sparingly, right? Depends a bit on like still if you compare it to other lead sources, you can use like I don't know Apollo or so. There are plenty of those. They have very similar lead prices actually. Now, what we are going to do next is use the AI agent step we just talked about. So I'm going to click on the little plus icon right here, and I'm going to add the enter agent step, which is going to be super helpful. right? And that's where we have the three core components I just talked about, right? We have the prompt for the instructions. We have the skills, right? Right here, you can add skills. And we have the exit condition. Now, for the prompt, we're going to go into our Notion and choose the first prompt we have right here, prompt number 1, agent step research. I'm going to paste that in. Now, just to give you a brief explanation of what's actually happening here, we prompt the agent to do a couple of things for us, right? So first, we find people that we're interested in. That will give us like email, maybe a LinkedIn profile, some background information about the prospect, right? The company, the role, etc. And then we have an additional agent step, which is supposed to go ahead and find additional information for us, right? Maybe there's some information on the internet. Maybe there's some on their LinkedIn profile. Maybe Perplexity has some more information about the company itself, right? And we want to use all of this information to generate the personalized email as well as the landing page afterwards. Now I've defined the goal right here. And since we defined a very clear goal and kind of the output format we'd like to have it in, we can use a very simple exit condition. And let's actually do that. So if I click on add exit condition at the very bottom of my agent configuration, it will pop up with the exit condition in place, which is exit once the task is complete. That's my go-to exit condition, to be honest. I like to put the pressure on the prompt inside of the agent and set clear goals on whenever the task is finished. And then I can use this kind of simple exit condition to have the agent complete its tasks. All right. So quick check-in. You can find the prompt inside of the Notion guide we shared with you, right? So you'll see the little toggle right here. You can open prompt 1 on the right side, the blue one, and then copy that thing into your prompt. The second thing was add the exit condition, which is if you click on your agent step, at the very bottom of your configuration, you'll see add exit condition right here. And you can click that, and this will show something like this, right? The exit condition with exit once the task is complete. Awesome. Now, let's add the third component, which is the skills, right? So we want our agent to use a couple of different skills. And I mean, we have some amazing integrations. We're going to use 3 of them, which are pretty basic, but already super, super powerful, right? So one is you guys probably know Perplexity, which is very, very powerful in terms of doing AI research on the web, right? Now, we didn't configure the search Perplexity yet, but I defined how to use it in here in the prompt, right? So Perplexity Sonar Pro Search conducted comprehensive company research using search queries, right? That's how the agent knows how to actually use it. Now, the second tool is going to be LinkedIn. We want to scrape the profile of each of those prospects we identified. So if you click on the LinkedIn scraper right here, you'll see a big list of actions or skills to use here. We're going to scroll down and choose the LinkedIn profiles by URL action, which is one of my most used actions by far. It's super cheap. It's very powerful. It comes in very handy. It actually, quick tip on the side here, side note, it actually returns lookalike profiles for your LinkedIn leads as well. So if you have like, if we're scraping that one LinkedIn profile, we actually get back like 10 to 20 lookalike profiles as well. You could use for further enrichment too. So it's a pretty powerful action. Okay, let's click done. Now we have 2 out of 3 skills attached. I'm going to add a last one, which is you can click on By Lindy on the right, that little tab right here, and you'll see web browser actions. Now, this is not the computer use web browser. This is actually an integration we have, right? And one of the actions is search the internet, which is also super powerful. It can use like different kind of search engines. We're going to use Google for that. And inside of my prompt, you'll see that the first step of the agent is going to be using Google to search for the prospect's LinkedIn profile URL, which we're then going to use in the LinkedIn profile by URL tool, right? And then we're going to use Perplexity to search for more information. Okay, can I get a quick thumbs up if you made it this far?
Tons of thumbs up.
Awesome.
Yeah. Some people are asking just one refresher on the tools. Which tool is
Okay.
the last one?
Cool. Yeah, no worries. So here you can see the list of all the tools I attached to the agent. The first one is LinkedIn profiles by URL. The second one is search Perplexity. And the third one is search the internet, right? So that one you'll actually find by typing in search the internet. I think that's the easiest way, and you'll see it right here. And no, for this integration for LinkedIn right here, you actually don't need to be logged into your account. This is not using your account. This is literally just scraping LinkedIn. Awesome. So I see Jonathan is already asking about where to save that data. And that's literally the next step. So let's continue. I'm going to click on the little plus icon to add a new step. I'm going to perform an action. And I'm going to choose Google Sheets right here. And we're using the append row action, which basically allows me to store that new information we just scraped from the internet into a Google Sheet to create our list. Right? Now, in the Notion guide, I actually shared with you the sheet I've been using for this, right? Or I'm going to use as well. So feel free to copy that. You can open it and copy it. I think there's an easy way to make a copy out of this as well. Right, so this is the sheet. If you click on File and then make a copy, you can make it your own. That's the easiest way to follow along right now. I'm gonna quickly walk through the fields we have right here, which is the date, the current date. We have the name, the email address, the LinkedIn profile. Let's make this LinkedIn profile URL actually. The company name, some pain points, and enrichment data. All right, now back in our workflow, inside of the append row action, we actually want to choose that spreadsheet, which is going to be this one for me. And then you want to choose the sheet title prospects. Right? Now you'll see that all of the columns we actually created inside of the sheet will populate on the right here. And we can simply use our LLM feature for these input fields to fill in the blanks for us, right? Since we have pretty descriptive column titles, it will figure out like how to fill them in. Oh, sorry. I'm just realizing I made a small mistake, but that's fine. Now, you're seeing that we are appending one row, so it's literally limited to one row. What we actually want to do is like append multiple rows, but I wanted to keep this example super simple. So let's reduce the people we find on the search for people action to 1, so that we literally only find one person, enrich them, and then append that person to our row. That's keeping it simple for now. I want to save you of some complexity here. Yeah, Lauren, you're absolutely right. If you want to have like more leads, right? You want to find 50 leads or so. You'd actually want to use a loop in here and then loop through each of those leads, like do research based on them, and then use the append row action inside of the loop to append a row for each of the leads you found. Oh, Ray, shout out to him. Okay, cool. So there we have it. We have our prospect finder ready to go, basically. Now, let's go to the next stage, which is we're going to create a landing page with an agent that's personalized to that lead and send it out to them, right? Awesome. So once we append the row, we can use that as a trigger, right? And I'm going to keep building in the same workflow, actually. So if you right-click into the workflow, you can add a new trigger. You can also click on the little plus icon right here, add a step, and then add a new trigger. I'm going to click that. Now, since we are appending a new row, I can actually go ahead and use Google Sheets here and add the new row added trigger, right? And then you'll need to put in the spreadsheet URL right here. So let's do that. Spreadsheet URL. And I'm going to paste that in. And the sheet title is, I believe, prospects. Yeah. Prospects. Cool. Now, every time we append a row, this part of the workflow will be triggered. Okay. Cool. So next step, we perform an action, and this time we're choosing Lindy computer. I'm going to start a computer. Now, this is where you actually want to go in and configure your computer, right? I'm going to use my personal computer for this one. So in here, you can have multiple computers, right? And each of them is going to use like cookies and passwords and etc. in order to use different kind of browsers for you, right? My personal computer is logged into my X and LinkedIn accounts, some other accounts as well. I've got the brand computer as well for the Lindy brand. And you can set up multiple computers basically. And you can configure them clicking on this little cog icon right here and log into the browser so that the agent can reuse that browser session basically, right? For this example, we actually don't need you to log into anything because the agent is simply going to write some code, deploy that, and make it usable for us. Okay, so once you're in the agent step, you can see that we have these 3 skills, which are super important. We need the use terminal, we need the use browser, and we need the get public URL. Now you want to go into your Notion workflow guide, workshop guide, and select the second prompt right here. Now, I've put some work into this prompt, right? Because I was literally using it. This is pretty cool. So all I did here was tell the agent, hey, build a website using the data you have about the prospect, and then test it to verify it's working. And once it works, you can exit, right? And I gave it the template to use. Now, I literally went to Claude and have it write up the template for me in HTML. I didn't write a single line of code here. I simply told it to use the kind of information we found online about the prospects and use some placeholders, right? All right. Can we get a quick check-in? Thumbs up if you made it so far. Ethan, any important questions as well?
No, I think people are going pretty. I'm fighting the chat, answering. Not fighting the chat, trying to answer as many as I can. So I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, literally, like if you use the same kind of template I have right here, this is going to send out emails that I've been using in the past. So you kind of want to customize that, but you'll see we can test it before sending out. So the next step is we need a send. Oh, sorry, I forgot to actually add the exit condition. So if you click on the agent tab, again, we want to add the exit condition, and he can exit once the task is complete. Now, what we want to do is perform an action, which is send the initial email. And I'm going to use Gmail for this. You could also use Outlook. Doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna send an email. And we can leave the to field on auto, or simply tell it to, hey, the prospect's email, just to make sure it doesn't mess up here. And then we can define the subject line. Well, what can we use? Something simple, your invite. And then for the body, I actually prepared a prompt as well. So if we go back into our Notion, we have the prompt right here. Right? And I'm putting this into prompt mode, right? This is important. So the subject line is on manual because I want to always send out this subject line for this example. The body, though, is on prompt AI because I want the agent to replace those placeholders with actual data we found online, right? That's important thing here. So a couple of you probably received that email from me and wondered what this is about. Now you know, okay? Cool. We can remove the signature for now, and you could set the from name, but I'm gonna leave it as auto. Now, what you can also do to make it easier to like navigate your workflow later on is to rename your actions, which is actually pretty helpful, right? And I'm gonna say send initial email because it makes it easier for me to send follow-ups later on. And I'm gonna quickly check on time. Yeah, I need to cut it a bit short, but that's fine. I think we got the basic version of this ready, right? So I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna rename the agent enrichment plus landing page outreach. And now I'm going to use the test on the top right to make it easy for me to see the workflow while testing this. Okay. I hope everyone got as far as I am right now. So I'm going to click on message received. And I can simply tell it like, what kind of leads are we looking for, right? Find someone in SF, in real estate. I don't know, just a random example here. I'm going to hit enter. And now you'll see that, hey, our search for people action is currently firing. It's using a query, which we didn't define, right? It left it on auto, and it actually found a person, a senior engineer manager at a real estate technology company, which is interesting. Now the agent is going and searching the internet for the LinkedIn profile. It found it. Now we collect some information from the actual profile, right? And you can always open these actions right here and see exactly what kind of data it actually found. Now it's searching Perplexity for some additional information online about the company, about bottlenecks and workflows, because that's my angle for the email.
Yeah. As it keeps like searching in sequence like this is why I love agent steps on research, because it's almost like YouTube rabbit holes. So it's like gonna find one fact about the person, then find another fact, and it's a crazy chain that is really powerful.
Totally. Yeah. Okay, someone is asking if I could go back and explain the last couple of steps. Sure. I'll do that just in a second, okay? Let's finish this agent step right here, and we should see the append row action in a bit. Oh, wow, it's taken longer than expected. Okay, let me actually go through the last couple of steps before it's finishing. So I think you all got the first agent, right? Which is, hey, find one person, enrich that person based on the prompt we have, and then append a row inside of our Google Sheet so we can use all of this information in the next steps, right? The second agent, basically, inside of our workflow is once we added a new row to our sheet, we start a computer, right? That's why you'll usually want to configure the computer. For this example, you don't have to because it's just writing code. And then we have the agent step actually using the computer, right? With the skills attached, and those come automatically if you simply add the start computer action. And we added our prompt from the Notion guide right here with the actual landing page template we're going to use to personalize each message, right? And then the agent exits once the task is complete, and then we send the initial email, right? So this is a send email action by Gmail. You could use Outlook as well. You could send a Slack, an SMS with Twilio, doesn't really matter. Just an example here. And the way I've set this up is the to field is going to the prospect's email, and I'm using prompt AI for this field. So the AI is actually figuring out, hey, what email to use for this. And then the subject line, I just made up one. And then for the body, I kept it as prompt AI as well, and then pasted in my email template, which the agent is going to replace with actual data from the data we found online. Okay. I already see some people saying it's working. So let's check. If I click on tasks, we should able to see some stuff happening, right? Oh no, it's actually stuck. All right. Gonna try again.
If you refresh, does it come in, Marvin? Sometimes the computers.
Yeah, something is off here.
All right.
All right, it got it. Task is complete.
Yeah, I see a lot of people asking what the website is. I see it coming in for somebody. I promise
Yeah,
it's coming soon, guys. It's really really awesome.
I wanna show it off. So we are appending a new row. So if I reload this page right now, I should see a new task right up here. So we received the information, and we can double and verify this on our actual Google Sheet, which is right here. We got the information about Wei Hai. Sorry if I butchered your name. And we can see the agent actually starting the computer session, which is going to be super cool to watch. So the skills in the second agent are literally all the computer skills. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Right? If you click on add a new step, perform an action, and then choose the Lindy computer right here, and then click on Start Computer, this will automatically have all the skills attached to the agent, right? That's what I have right here. The agent with the prompt I pasted in and the skills attached to it. All right, let's have a look. So it's creating a directory for the landing page. Oh, it's super cool that you can actually see the terminal now as well.
Yeah, looks like some people, Natiz is already drafting the email.
It created the landing page for me.
Yeah.
Now it's starting a HTTP server for us. All right. It's using the computer. Let's see. It's going to test it. Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
wow.
We have it. Let's see it. Can we actually copy it? Yeah, we can.
That's funny.
So that's our landing page. I mean, this agent just created this landing page on the fly, right?
And
With
pulled all
all,
the info and links
yeah,
and
exactly.
linked it on the pages.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I'm realizing it's not the actual landing page I wanted to share, but it's another good example of how it can live, which is fine. Now it's literally like testing the website and seeing if everything's working. And once it's done doing so, it will actually send the email on our behalf to Wei. So yeah, I hope you all got along. What's the starting point for this task? The starting point was a new row added, right? So the first agent created a new row for us, right? Append row. And the second agent in the same workflow used that information as a trigger.
Wow. What do you guys think of Marvin's outbound magic? Was it magical? I'm seeing some reactions come in, lots of claps. Uh, yeah, it's pretty wild now that you can just create this stuff on the fly. Like even with the part that's like with the Lindy computer that's really powerful, that is that it tests itself. So one example I did was I had it find people on Facebook that were moving companies that didn't have a website. I had it build them a website. It wasn't just a website, it was like an 8-page website with forms connected to a database. Then it went in and actually tested all of it and then sent them an email saying, here's the website. Come work with me as like a test. So it's like there's uh yeah, it's pretty crazy what you can do with Lindy. And this is the worst it's ever gonna be. It's like what's possible now with the models is like way more possible than what it was 6 months ago, and it's just gonna keep getting better. I see some people asking if we have any other courses or learning opportunities. Maybe it's a good transition to our giveaways, templates, and next steps. Unless Marvin, you
Totally.
have anything else you want to highlight?
No, let's go for it.
Alrighty, here, let me share my screen real quick. All right. We can everyone see my screen? Yeah. It's maybe the most common question. Usually. Look at that. It's been 90 minutes. We built an email assistant, your first agent. We covered the fundamentals of Lindy. We saw how you could describe agents and just create them just from your imagination. Marvin showed us how to build landing pages on the fly and enrich people and send them emails all within 90 minutes. This is like kind of taking people, like imagine if this was you're all where you were right now and we just went even faster. So this is pretty wild. So I think one, just like pat your guys self on the back. I think we really appreciate you all coming here. Really appreciate the effort you have building along with us. It's been a ton of fun. To wrap things up, we have some giveaways. We're going to share to access our templates recording and talk about some of the next steps. First and most importantly, if you really like this, we have a free Agent Academy next week. What this looks like is it's just more high touch, more one-on-one help. There's going to be 3 live sessions, potentially maybe some bonus sessions. one-on-one training and more. We also bring you all into a community. It's a ton of fun. You can see that on the right-hand side was from one of the very, very first kind of pilots we ran of this. Been loving it, and it's closer to Marvin and I love just getting to know you guys a little bit closer as well. In Agent Academy, you're also gonna be able to become a certified Lindy agent engineer, Lindy builder. So by completing this, submitting a demo, is how you can become Lindy certified. Overall, if you want this course or if you want to come, it's not a it's a you're gonna have to put in some work. You know, it's 10 to 15 hours, 6 hours live. The more you put in, the more you get out. I'm sure. Hopefully, you guys see how much if you just put in 90 minutes today. If you imagine putting in 6 more hours, how you could be helping yourself and saving time with Lindy. Usually, people get a pretty good ROI on their time back here. We're also going to have special creator focused sessions. So if you're a creator here, if you're trying to build an audience with agents, we're going to have some special things for you and how you can build agents to automate those parts of your business and use it to grow your accounts. If you are interested, I'm going to drop this link in the chat right now. Let's see. Marvin, you want to drop that link? Marvin spamming it. Apply there. We'll pause for just a second. We're also going to send these out at the end too. But if you want to click on that link, fill it out real quick. We can't wait to have it. So while you guys are filling that out, Marvin, do you have anything you want to say about Agent Academy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first one already was awesome. The second one kind of blew me away as well. I think the third one is going to be so much more fun just because we got so much more stuff to talk about from in terms of product, as well as I mean, we have plenty of community members going to join as well. They always bring in the vibes. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait actually.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's I don't know, you get into that smaller room and just have people like you make friends, everyone builds agents. I think Marvin and I really appreciate just seeing everyone grow and rally together. And I think it's we've it's been pretty special so far. Excited to keep it rolling. So apply there. You'll send the link. You'll probably see it on socials. Hope to see you all next week. All completely free, like you see with most of these things. We're not trying to take your money or sell you into some track. We really just want to help you build agents and help you win. With that, we have another thing. So this is how our giveaway, to enter a giveaway, Marvin, if you want to drop the feedback link. So
Yep.
Marvin and I, we've only been doing live events, maybe like a little bit over a month. We're getting better, still lots to improve. We truly appreciate and read every one of these feedbacks. If you submit feedback here, we are going to pick three people are going to get 10K free credits, so $100 free credits. So please do that. We really want to do your feedback, anything you learned, anything we could have done better. Like I said, Marvin and I are just going to keep iterating and get better at these things until we're on top of everything. So I really appreciate that. If you guys want to take a moment to that, we'll announce the winners and send them out probably later today. Like I said, we're going to have all these links here. And then lastly, we're going to pause and let you guys give the feedback. Also, I guess I want to share in a second, but how do you get your templates and recordings? It's pretty easy. Marvin, if you want to drop in the chat, we want to stay connected with you. We always love doing these things and we want to stay close. So if you want to connect with us on LinkedIn and you just DM us the word build or academy, build or academy, I think I forgot to update this. Our agents will be in touch with you. So as soon as the recording's good to go, our agents are going to look at all those DMs, and from there we are going to send them out. And in this you're going to get not only the templates from today, both of them, we're going to get a bonus template and a recording. I see some people saying build in the chat. You got to send it in the DMs. And our LinkedIn DM agents will be in touch with you after this recording available. So I'll pause right there. Really, the two main actions after this, the three main actions, apply to Agent Academy. If you want more Lindy, we're going to be teaching you more next week. Fill out that feedback form so Marvin and I can continue to grow and serve you guys in the best possible way we can. And then connect with us. We'll go accept all the requests. I recommend just connecting with both of us, to be honest. It's faster. Our agents kind of go sequentially, so odds are you'll get it faster. But more importantly, we just want to stay in touch with everyone that comes into these things. Really appreciate the energy in the chat, in the reactions. It's really what makes it the most special. Marvin, do you have anything you want to flag or any last words from today's session?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys so much for spending the time with us. I see a lot of questions on follow-ups, like how to continue, maybe building agents with us, or like Lindy as a company, or hiring someone. I would highly encourage you guys to reach out to us. There's a bunch we can do together, and yeah, I'm super excited for the academy. So make sure to sign up for that.
Alrighty. And just really appreciate you guys. I know 90 minutes is a lot to ask for out of your day, especially in the middle of the week. And so I really appreciate everyone not only setting aside the time, but putting the effort to learn. It means a lot to us. Marvin and I put a lot in these things. We're always seeing about how to make them better. I promise next week's going to be exciting. See you at Agent Academy. Thank you guys. It was a blast. I'm sure we'll be in touch and keep building Lindy. I think the most favorite part of these two is after we just get DMs of people building crazy agents and sparking new ideas. So this is not the end of the session, but this is really the beginning of how you're going to start using agents to augment your life. It's really as easy as just describing them. We'll see you guys all next week. All right, this is where I forget to